There we go. Sorry, I literally just turned the microphone off for some reason after it was already connected. So hey. Happy Wednesday from Little Bangladesh, or the edge of Little Bangladesh. Right over there, downtown LA, you can kind of see it peeking up. Little Bangladesh, we're gonna walk right on Beverly. Kind of odd because out of all the littles, Little Armenia, Little Tokyo, it's one of the newer ones. I think folks from Bangladesh moved here in the 60s. Hey Carrie, hey, walking in L in the 60s, and then in 2010 it became Little Bangladesh. So we're about to cross Beverly Boulevard, then we're gonna go west and head down Normandie. Beverly Boulevard was kind of, it's parallel to Santa Monica Route 66, right? This was the first one of the first paved thoroughfares, roads, an early little highway, I guess, in Los Angeles. Used to have cable cars. Really cool old buildings here. So let's head this way. Normandie is just a couple of blocks ahead. Interesting thing about this neighborhood is though it may have been Little Bangladesh and had a huge Bangladeshi presence in a cool. Sorry, we're gonna take a little walk, look at some street art. May have had a really large presence in the 60s and 70s, but now it's pretty much the eclectic mix of Los Angeles. This actually wasn't as cool as I thought, so let's walk. I saw that full collapse. I think I wrote something in the chat. So welcome, full collapse. I don't always get to see during the chat when people join, but awesome. Let's give some fireworks. Kind of looks graffiti like fireworks. I haven't made a little overlay for it yet, but this Saturday at 4 o'clock, we're gonna go back to the 1940s and walk some of our favorite neighborhoods, members that we walk right now. I don't think this is one of them, Little Bangladesh. So welcome at full collapse. Love you being here. Always makes me feel like I'm home when I get to New Hampshire Avenue. This really just reminds me of New Hampshire so much. More so than Vermont Avenue, actually. It's kind of like Cedar Street in Manchester. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's all right. Okay, crossing the street. You can see all the way down, big buildings on Wilshire over there. Downtown is a little to the west of that, or the south of that. Yeah, south. So the really kind of nice thing about the street that we're going to walk down, which is Normandie, is it's kind of like pre-World War I buildings. It kind of, for some reason, has not had a complete gentrification, so it still maintains, a lot of these streets do, maintains that sort of vintage look, like you're stepping onto a set. Of course the cars will be different. It won't be like this Saturday on the members only live stream. So hey, if you are here for the first time, please give us a old like and subscribe and chat. We would really appreciate that. This is called a strip mall. California is famous for these. I think we might have invented them. This is not the original strip mall, but it could be. I didn't know there was a car wash over here. This is Catalina. Catalina has some beautiful buildings at the end of it. Almost be a little sexier to walk down Wilshire, but then we would miss Normandie, which is coming up. Oh yes, we have memberships and we do fun things. Feel free to join. And across the street. I feel like my glasses are on crooked. We still need to see 28 Years Later. We are planning on seeing this Friday night. I'm kind of excited. I hope it's as good as the first one or kind of more like the first one. That was the sales booth for the car wash. It had bongs in it. I'm not judging. More power to them. Hey, Cecilia. If I miss anybody, I'm walking and looking and exploring and making sure I point out things to you. So Kenmore is also, it will feel like you are not in Los Angeles anymore. It feels like Allston or Brighton or maybe the suburbs of Boston. Also apartment dwelling, like pre-World War I buildings. Am I allowed to say war? But Normandy is the jewel. So happy Wednesday. At the very end of this, after I've walked 22 miles, just kidding, I'm going to be meeting up with Joe, who's going to have a sushi lunch, or late lunch, early dinner with his bro. You've been to Little Bangladesh. You just don't know it. It's small, and it's only been around since 2010, I think. Before that, it had no name. It's right where Vermont and Beverly kind of meet, and then it turns into Koreatown and Filipino Town. It was over here also somewhere. We might walk to that. It's where the Jollibee is. Oh, I don't know what. That place is pretty cool. It's like a little mall, but cooler. We do. It's called New York. Oh, okay. We kind of have a city, I guess it's Danish, but it's got some windmills, called Solvang. And we really love going there. We usually stop there after Christmas on our way home, but it's really kind of touristy and kind of like little Tokyo or Chinatown. Hey, LA Unknown. So there are tons of cool buildings here, old buildings to explore. I mean, we're not going inside. I wish. I think that's going to be my 2026 goal, is to try to get inside of some of these spaces without breaking the law. Hey, Jeffrey. They do sell wooden shoes, I think, too. I just find solving confusing, but I kind of love it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being members. Thanks for subscribing. I do wanna, we're not quite to Normandy yet. A couple blocks. This is just one of the many little downtowns within Los Angeles. I'm still looking down to Wilshire. That's the Equitable building. A lovely mural. Hey, Mel. I want some cold treats. I wonder if the 1 hour photo place is still open. They have 2 signs. Wow. Oh, they are still open. Looks like a dry cleaner, but it's still open. Still printing large prints. So we're at Normandie. Yeah, and we're gonna take a left. I'm gonna crisscross and walk back and forth, because this is the hottest side of the street. Hey, Ozgate, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for joining. I'm gonna get a little bit down further, and then we're gonna wiggle into these side streets. It is about 87 degrees, I think. So my goal is to stay hydrated and in the shade. It's one of those, I mean, it's no Florida, but it's one of those hot days where you don't even want to like put moisturizer on because it just blocks your skin. My shoelace has been untied for half a mile now. I actually think now that we're walking down this street that I think that Kenmore actually has more of the enclaves. It's okay for me to be wrong sometimes. I honestly have not. Hey, full collapse, welcome, welcome. I set you some fireworks earlier. Thanks for becoming a member. I usually set this up just before I go on, so I might not have your name in there yet, but shout out to my members. Couldn't do this without you. So instead of crossing, I think we're gonna try to tuck left and get to Kenmore. It's a hill. It'll be fun to walk up, and I think it's a little more untouched than this street. And I haven't seen a ton of... Ooh, I'm gonna put my phone down and tie my shoe. I'm gonna trip on my shoelace and break something. Oof. All right. By the end of the summer, I think I'm gonna be doing this in a tank top. Not quite there yet. Thank you to all you 3-monthers. Plus, I think I missed James and Mel. Sorry, you guys are at the top. I just put a little extra star next to your name. All right, we're getting closer to the 1920s, but I really think that we should go left and try to hit Kenmore if we can. Hey, focused. Happy Wednesday. We're trying to work up a sweat to get to Bumsan for some organic soft serve. It really... Every other soft serve that I've had since that one kind of pales in comparison. I also think I want the plain flavor, which sounds very beige of me. Hey, DC. But I feel like it's that kind of day. I'll see. We're going to meet Joe, and we'll each get a flavor. This way, we get to try 2 different things. Here we go, a little 1920s apartment building with a lady bending over in front. We're going to walk down the street, First Street. We'll wiggle down to Wilshire again. I'm just going to have to make sure that I show you everything that I've listed. Sometimes I get carried away, literally. Oh, I would love a 63-degree day. I'm also not only going to be wearing a tank top by the end of the summer, but I think, like, you know when you see those, like, little Frenchy people or Swissy people or everybody in the whatever that brand is, Ami Paris fashion show, wearing these little neck things. I think I need one of those to absorb the sweat. Plus, they kind of look cool. This is Mariposa. A nice mix. Craftsman, 30s. Maybe a couple abandoned places here. I also want a beach day. Like a stream and then lie on the beach day. A combo. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So when I was trying to plan this walk today, I was thinking a bunch of different things for where to start. I kind of wanted to start over in Westlake by MacArthur Park today, but it's just so hot. I was looking at, I guess, a helicopter flying over MacArthur Park the other day. It's like it's a beautiful space. It's a huge park. Hey, Derek. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. We do have the soft serve emoji still, but it's still in a fish. I didn't love Somi Somi. I didn't not like it, but I'm telling you, this Bumsan. This was, as the kids say, the shit. I think adults say that too. I was on Vermont and Beverly. I wanted to walk down Normandie and talk about some of the buildings, but I think they're actually on Kenmore, which is up here. However, You do run into little blocks like this guy. Maybe we don't have to walk up the Kenmore Hill. And we're on Edgemont Street. Edgemont is pretty grand. It's a street that runs all the way up to Franklin. My first spot was Vermont and Beverly. I started there. That's when I plugged the microphone in. I can't believe I shut it off like a ding dong. The closer we get to like the city street, which is Wilshire, like I think the nicer and kind of grander they made the apartment buildings. Now, of course, we're looking at the leftovers, like the chateau apartments. Chateau in name only. Like if I lived there, I would want to be in that second building up. The green one. Or this. It looks like you can walk right up to the roof. So this is Kenmore. Definitely a little more vintage than the other street. We're gonna do a loop, walk up the hill. I remember a very long time ago, I tried to rent, or I looked at an apartment here. Probably in the chateau, I feel like. I think it was on the other side of the street. It was a cool apartment, but they had carpet. I love anything with vintage touches. I feel like it was in that building, not the one with the deck, otherwise I'd still be living there. Very nice lady, showed me the apartment. The carpet part was just no go for me. This is a lovely street for a couple of reasons. Architecture, the canopy of trees kind of makes it nice. Hello, Ruby Tuesday. Good Mittwoch. Guten Mittwoch. Not quite Kenmore Square, but I actually did reference Alston earlier. I'm always like weirded out by things that are named similar to things where I grew up. Like Kenmore, I think of Kenmore Square. There's a Commonwealth Ave here. I think of Boston. Beacon Street is somewhere. I think of Boston. This is really a gorgeous unit. I love these. I love the idea of having windows that just open all the way to the door, although I think those windows don't open, which I hate. I don't like ornamental, non-opening windows. But I don't know that I would want windows that open to the floor on the first floor or on the third with no fence. So most of these, if not all of them, are pre-World War I. And this is probably not a very expensive neighborhood to live in, although it is Koreatown, and Koreatown is expensive. And if you don't get a parking space, this is nowhere you want to live. And then there's the stucco. And then we're kind of getting back to the 70s, or 60s down here. Pre-Pershing Square. These were built when... I actually kind of love these. It reminds me of Charles and Ray Eames somehow. The cookie windows. So I always wonder about buildings in Los Angeles that were built in 1905. And I probably am nervous for no reason, because they've already withstood some of the worst earthquakes this city has seen. Looks like a chateau one also. All right, I think there's another doozy. So I would live in this area. I think Koreatown. Oh my God, I hate the dingbat apartments, actually. Maybe if you lived in 1920 or 1915, 1912, when these were all being born, you're like, gross, another mansard roof. But to me, these all look kind of distinct. Cecilia, I don't know that this is the best area to live in, but I don't think it's the worst. It's Koreatown, right next to Little Bangladesh. But I think a really important thing for Californians and people who live in this type of climate is that any new apartment, you should have a little outdoor space. You can do it. These apartments are huge also. If they haven't been like dissected and cut down. Probably still have a small kitchen. Well, this one's probably been divided up because it has singles. For rent, a single one bath. 1,700 is my guess. It's that one right there. Whoa, it has a key on it, or Thomas B. Morrison was the builder. I don't really see stuff like that. I like when they put the year built. That's a stunning home. We saw it on the other side of the street, but it's almost more impressive from here. Let me see if I can. I almost love the idea of living in a single, because we all have too much shit and too much space, more than we need, and like a tiny house or a single, it just seems like right-sized. I don't have a family or kids. I do have dogs though. But I think as long as I could get me a little outdoor space, like I just need a tiny little space. This place, we can't see it, but it has this pretty beautiful cactus garden. What part of LA did you live in, Ruby? Right, but I think, well, you've got some Spanish looking, some French looking buildings. They do seem really individual and interesting to me, and I think we've gotten so efficient. And I don't hate the brutalist movement, mind you, but like for an office building. Hey, Moonstar. Thank you so much, Derek. See, just that little lip right there. I think that apartment's empty too. I'm not so into the color. I have to tell you though, we've lived in like a Our apartment's late 60s building with like this cubicle kitchen from a time before people ate in their house, I guess, or actually cooked. I would love to move into one of these giant apartments. Moonstark. That's her, or there, I don't know. That's their cop name, Moonstark. Moonstarksky and Hutch. Sorry, that wasn't really timely or funny. Ooh, they have a wishing well. It is the Netherlands. Sorry, I could have let them answer. Whoa. And they don't really take care of the sidewalks over here because I just broke my toe. Not really. So we're at First Street. That's where we kind of crossed over to here. I think I'm going to stay on this street and we'll peek up Normandie when we get a little further down. I think it remains more vintage, closer to Wilshire. Hey, Joey B. Wow, that sidewalk hurt. That's a sidewalk story right there. Excellent. Hey, thank you so much for walking with us. Also, I think, the time that some of these buildings were, the ornateness of them, and we didn't have the same building laws, but also just like Victorian houses were like, what, late 1900s. Like, that was only like 30 years before this. So they'd learned to do all this really cool stuff with machines at this point, less hand stuff. So I think that's why these look so good. And now we're tired of adding filigree. Oh my God. So here, this, again, a big apartment, 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom. I don't know. I'm not really apartment hunting down here. I think it's really hard. I think that was the other thing, the other reason, whoa, pigeons. The other reason I didn't end up taking that apartment, aside from the carpet, is probably the main reason there, was the fact that it had no parking spot, and parking is really tough in this neighborhood. I had a friend who lived over here, and it was never easy to hang out at their place because parking. Unless you took the bus. I think it's really weird because now that I'm older, I would be more apt to take the bus over to somebody's house. Another gorgeous building. Maybe not so much, but it had its time. We always try to be diplomats here, I think. Try as we might. We do sometimes fail. Sometimes the stuff that's going on, it's just kind of hard to be diplomatic. Ruby Tuesday, are you a fan of the restaurant or the song? I'm guessing it's the song, although I used to love me a Ruby Tuesdays. So I think we're just about to 6th Street. I would think. I haven't been counting. We turned on first. No, we can't be there yet. We gotta be fifth. Actually, we're on 3rd Street. It reminds me of the Rolling Stones song too, but there was also, ooh, this place came with electric refrigerators at one time. That's pretty excellent because up until very recently, you had to get your own refrigerator in California when you got an apartment. So they were ahead of the time. I'm probably going to walk towards Gramercy. I'm in that general area. Gramercy is just off of Western. My goal was, that tile is very interesting. I wonder if it's original. It's gotta be. We end up, like, so on Western, we end up walking next to Gramercy. I can dip in. That'll be post ice cream though. Hey, for Saturday, you folks, members that are joining us, let me know if there's any sites you'd like to see when we tour Los Angeles in the 1940s. Universal doesn't exist. I don't think the studios are in there, but we're talking Roosevelt, Bradbury. We're definitely going to Pershing Square in the 1940s. We'll try to check it out, Cecilia. For sure. Now Kenmore is not as fun of a street. I haven't really crossed Wilshire Boulevard yet. I mean, I've walked across it and I've driven across it plenty of times, and we've gone to Venice Beach, but I haven't really explored that side of Wilshire. And to be honest with you, it is probably, I'm not really familiar with the other side of Wilshire as much. So it would definitely be, I definitely want to go there. I definitely want to explore that area. I don't know if you guys are familiar. There's a movie from the 70s called Car Wash. And it's definitely one of my favorite LA. Ooh, it looks like we're in Palm Beach. The Killarney. What kind of Killarney is that? What was I talking about? Sorry, the Killarney. And that beachy color just kind of caught me off guard. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, so I haven't explored the other side of Wilshire. You can wait for Naples. We'll definitely be going to those canals. I promise you. Naples, California. Naples, Long Beach, that is. Again, I forgot what I was talking about. The heat. I'll remember in 1 second. Stop for a sip of water. So 3 things I have on the back burner are the Huntington, Catalina, and of course going to the canals. The canals is probably third because it's the newer of those 3, but I definitely want to go there. The Huntington will be, when was it Huntington Beach? The Huntington Garden, that's going to be like a weekday because it's cheaper and probably less crowded. I'm gonna wiggle back across the street here. I'm not going to because of the sun. It's a pretty cool building. I'm gonna get back in the sidewalk. No, I'm gonna cross because people are fiddling over there. I have a. That's. Where do you live in Germany? Oh my gosh, another. I gotta tie my shoe again. Let's put our camera on this log. Whoa! Really should double knot. I'm gonna double knot. Ah, there we go. I'm gonna plug in also. Okay. The Claridge, 60s. And then as we get closer to Wilshire, the old gets kind of torn down, and there's still a couple of old buildings, like, well, splinters sitting up, monuments like this guy. And there's the Equitable building. We've already crossed that parallel when we were on Beverly back there. I really forgot what I was saying earlier, and it's driving me crazy. I do lose my train of thought my whole entire life because I'm always thinking about 40 things. But when I start reading the text, sorry, when I start reading the chat in the middle of talking, I literally lose my spot. Just bear in mind that I'm walking and talking. No gum today. Okay, we are almost to 6th Street. I think we might want to turn a little right on 6th Street. We might cross here because buildings get cooler over there. So I'm constantly checking the chat because I want to make sure I don't miss anything, and I also, I like being able to greet everybody. Don't ever feel missed or left out. The Waymos now, this is not my neighborhood, but the Waymos now come to my neighborhood. I was kind of crazy when I saw one driving down the street the other day. I don't know how they didn't before because I feel like my neighborhood could use Waymos. Thanks. This looks like a dentist's office. This flag is so old, we only had 11 states when that was painted. Or 12, I'm really not great at counting. Like, those are the kind of windows, I would just love being able to throw open my windows, except there's a douchebag, me, outside of them with a camera. I think a lot of people still drive here. And I think it's hopefully like with this generation, sorry, it's grandpa, it'll kind of, people will see the value of not owning a car. So I love this building. It's pretty cool. We ate here on the stream a couple weeks ago. I believe at the Korean fried chicken restaurant. So this building right here, let's just see the courtyard. This is the Chapman Plaza. And that's a really great chicken restaurant that we ate at. So this is one of the first shopping plazas that catered to cars. I think there were a couple buildings like this that had markets in them. One was a Ralph's, and that's on Wilshire. I point that out every time. I don't know if this was ever a Ralph's or just a Chapman market, but it is the Chapman building, so I'm assuming it was not. But what a cool building. Waymo drivers are my favorite. They don't talk to me. I'm kidding. I don't talk to them. I'm actually a little bit of a chatty. When I'm alone in the Uber, I talk to the driver. I'm sure they hate me. So Western's right over there. I think we need to go down a little more. So I read that the Waymos are getting more aggressive, which I think is kind of funny. Like they're learning from driving. I'm totally comfortable in them, but just not on the freeway. So Wilshire is up here, I hope. I keep saying that and it's not, but I'm pretty sure it is. So 6th Wilshire. Waymos are gonna have to learn to talk. Actually, you can change the music. The first time we got in it, I thought it was just the music that they picked and provided, but you actually have a couple stations to choose from. I love a good apartment building sign, especially if it still lights up. I'll turn and look back at it. For some reason, I don't think I've ever noticed that sign before. But I've noticed the one on this building. Evanston. Hello, West Coast G. To some brutalist. This is one of my favorite buildings. I remember when I first moved here, I told somebody that I wanted to live here, and they said, that's where dead people live. And I thought, perfect. I'm not gonna go up and grab the picture of the sign, but I've shown it plenty. And there's the HMS Bounty. I love it. Retro, old-fashioned. Let's walk down Wilshire, do a loop, go down to 7th. Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Parkway. I really I want to make sure. But I don't miss Liberty Park. Oh, there we go. There's a better picture of the Evanstons. I just want the Gaylord hat. I haven't bought it yet. I don't know why. I like it for the architecture and also kind of the message it sends out. Sorry. I think like if you live in LA, you're gonna know what it is, but if I'm, maybe out in the Inland Empire, could strike a note. Hey Ruby, I missed your comment up there, for sure. That's how we got our name, kinda. So we really missed a big loop by turning up that street, I feel like. And the Gaylord? That's pretty cool. I don't know why I'm crossing. That's Catalina, the street that we walked over but didn't walk by. I keep seeing this video, not that that was the 40s, but I keep seeing this video of Wilshire Boulevard in the 40s. It keeps popping up. And it just looks a lot more car free. Right? It's a lot more car free. And I don't know, it just looks easier to get around. Also, the stupid electric trolleys are stupid. They're not stupid, the electric trains. So this was once a Ralph's grocery store. And yeah, this is just a really lovely church. And it really does have some grocery store vibes. Imagine getting your groceries there. This is a massive church. Look, a plane. Really a plane. Name that airline. All right, we're gonna cross, walk around the church. I'm gonna dip down to 7th. I wanna make sure we come back up here to see Liberty Park. But let's go to Catalina in 7th. There's a few giant churches on this street. There's also a synagogue down the street that has some really cool murals. Hopefully we'll make it to there because I put it on the list. I'm gonna have to edit it. I thought I actually had some really cool notes on this guy too, but I didn't. Look at that boulevard, right? This just looks like some kind of set to me always, like something that should be in Europe. I know that Cecilia and I have talked about this. I really love going inside of churches. It's kind of unfortunate that you just can't like walk in them anymore. Especially now that I have a camera, I can just take all the pictures I ever wanted. Oh, it's really got a beautiful. You can't see. You can only see the reflection, but there's a almost chatra blue looking stained glass window on the other side of that. I'm sure this has been replaced, but that's really weird. It's almost like cement instead of lead. And it's pretty behemoth, actually. I will check out the video. There is, slightly on our topic and stuff that we talk about, there is a new book called, it's a map book called Raymond Chandler's Los Angeles. And it has a bunch of different Raymond Chandler spots in it. I saw a video of that this week when I was flipping through the YouTubes. I think they can be emotionally overwhelming places. I think the most I just have respect for people who have so much faith that they can build a monument to God. And then here's my atheist part where we don't really know if he exists. Hey, Mary. Look, we've got our old-time lights on this street. I'm gonna cross here and go over to the Windsor Courtyard, or whatever it's called. I think there used to be a pretty cool restaurant in there. I also feel like that didn't used to be closed off. So I'm on 7th, right? I'm gonna probably have to go down one more to cross. Let's see. The Rendo, 7th, yeah. More brick apartment buildings. Yeah, I kind of wonder. Lots of. We're walking to the airport today, by the way. Mary, it's super hot. I am meandering and totally off course, going in whatever direction Cecilia requests of me today. I'm kidding, but I am hunting right now, and just trying to stay in the shade. And I just said to somebody, I never go on the other side of Wilshire Boulevard, and here I am. I'm pretty sure the humidity isn't low. I mean, is not high. It's probably like 50%. I mean, high for California, but I'm not like, my perspiration is drying up. I am staying in the shade. I feel like if I put moisturizer on today, I would have like What was that James Bond movie, Goldfinger, where the lady covered her body in gold paint except for one spot? On a hot day, moisturizer and sunblock, that makes me feel like I'm gonna suffocate. So here we are at 8th Street. We're gonna take a right on 8th Street, walk towards Catalina. These neighborhoods, again, this neighborhood is not too gentrified, but there are some really, like those chateau apartment buildings that we saw on the other side of Wilshire. I've told this story before, so if you're new here, you'll hear it for the first time. If you're not, you can just get a drink, water, have a snack. I used to have a friend who lived over here, maybe an acquaintance more, and I hung out with them maybe 1 or 2 times. And we went to her apartment one time and hung out, and the apartment had like 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It was like $1,000. This was probably 15 years ago. It had like a little terrace area. Maybe it was a little more than $1,000, but on this side of town, I'm sure now they're way, way, way more expensive, but I kind of wanted to live over here for a little bit. I never did. I really love signage. I don't know if that's ever been made clear by me talking about signage or fonts. I used to have back in the day when we did Tumblr, I used to have a pretty cool Tumblr, I think. Cool. I'll call it cool myself. And I just went around and took pictures of signs like Catalina or liquor and really interesting, vintage signs for the fonts too. And I kind of miss doing that. When I was working on the little short yesterday about the motel, the inn, I think it's called now. I just remembered how much, and I forgot to add that into the narrative, how much I really love signs. So Koreatown is the hugest one in the world besides in Korea, right? It is enormous. It does extend to the other side of Wilshire, which we are at now. We're heading towards Windsor Square, actually just Windsor. Windsor's one of those interesting streets, I think. I don't know anything about this end of Windsor, but on the other end, Windsor has these beautiful moments. It's a very old-fashioned-y feeling street. Kind of like 6th over by the Grove. Oh my God, thanks. Hey, Ruben. Good to see you here. Ooh, I kind of love that building too. It's called Haddon Hall. I was walking my dogs this morning. My dog is really stubborn walker, the white, fluffy, sweet one. The terrier will go anywhere you tell it. Unless there's firecrackers, then forget it. I was walking my sweet little puppies this morning, and there's a park in my neighborhood. You can sometimes go, sometimes there's another pit bull in there or something, but it's really a kid's park. We never go in when there are other dogs because the terrier is unpredictable. I think he would be sweet, but he's kind of unpredictable. So the white dog pulls me in that direction. He wants to go to the park. We get there. Our neighbor, the pit bulls, is in there. Those dogs need to run around. We carry on, and then I noticed this building that I've kind of wondered about for a while. And it's on Western. I can't remember the address. It turns out to be like an old animation studio from Charles Mintz, I think his name is. And now I'm kind of fascinated by that building. Western Ave, leading up to Santa Monica, had a lot of industry stuff at one time. I mean, silent industry, silent movie industry. Oh, this is a great street. Oh, lots of brick here. Mariposa. And there's our friend, the Equitable Building. It's kind of weird how it's old building, modern hotel, or whatever that is, and then old building, old building. I always wonder what goes into the construction of the new building, because you know they have to drill them into the ground now. Like, I wonder what that does to like the brick building brick buildings standing next door. That's a tongue twister. Brick building standing next door. How tall was Tupac? I know you're not asking me, and I think I missed part of the conversation. But when you met Tupac, in my head, I think he's tall, but I have a feeling he's tiny. Because he's just got such a big presence, and he's an enigma. 4'9". Did you just look that up in Star Hits magazine? That's a movie set right there, once you get past the U-Lock storage building. Seriously, look at that. You know, I have to say, being an East Coast person, I really did not appreciate Tupac until I moved to Los Angeles. Oh, sorry, I thought it was pretty period, and then there's sort of the modern one hiding in there. Although they did a nice job. Like, Prince was so tiny, so talented. Chalfante. That one doesn't even have a name. I like it when an apartment building has a name. I live at the Chalfante. I really should buy a banana. A lovely courtyard building. The Barclay. I'm always surprised when I find out that people are actually tiny. And I don't mean that in any kind of mean way whatsoever, but like sometimes celebrities, they just seem huge. The Langham. Oh, I hate when they put fake grass. Pretend it's real. Hey, Mick. I am using my phone on a gimbal. It's a Hohem M7. I complain about it frequently. It's a temperamental little bitch. Or bastard. I bet these are really big apartments. Or they've been divided. What a cool block. I've truthfully never walked down here before. Oh, they must be filming something somewhere. We've got a police officer. We're going left. The only time police officers are allowed to wear their costume. Allowed to wear their costumes are when they're protecting a movie set, I thought. I don't see any filming going on over here. There's the Pickwick, I think. I used to love that building also, only from the front. So I'm gonna need some of the streets. Once they cross over Wilshire Boulevard, the name completely changes. So I don't think we have a Rolo up where I live. I'm gonna stop on this shady corner for 1 second and I'm gonna do a plug check or a battery check because knock on wood, we're having a good stream. I was kind of... This Hohem gimbal pulls a lot of shitty tricks on me. I'm a real fond of the "it's a poor worker," the expression, "it's a poor worker who blames their tools." Very communist of me, isn't it? A blood check, as in Bloods or Crips. I do think sometimes it is me, but I have a feeling now that I've experienced the same problems or situations with this Hohem over and over again, it's the Hohem. All right. I don't know why I just crossed. Agreed. And also, I really used to dig communist stuff when I was a teenager, like the imagery. And it was very punk to have a communist pin in my day, the hammer and sickle. Okay, shoe tie. Let's look up this street while I kick my leg up high like Juliet Prowse and tie it. I wish you could watch. It's hopefully... I don't know my cord's long enough, but it is. Alright, hang tight. Tying shoe, dropping battery pack. Shoe tied. Battery pack plugged in. Ah, safe. This poor lady is... Okay. So, Ardmore. That's the view. I guess it has a view. Not much to look at if you ask me. Oh, Kingsley. I think we have to hit Western and then second block in. That's why there's no parking in Koreatown. Do you know that 88 cities make up Los Angeles County? Like, for some reason, decided to figure that out. I mean, it was actually kind of easy. I don't know. I actually think I would be more interested in living on this side of Wilshire in Koreatown, just because compared to the other side, I actually have seen a few parking spots um, for the car I never drive. That's what I was saying earlier. I used to have a friend that lived in K-Town. I should have just always taken the train there. Because the parking was like, you'd have to be there at 7. I get really OCD about being late. Cranky about being late. And then I would get there like 15 minutes early, and then it would take me half an hour to find parking. I love this building. Kind of nice little streamlined dealie on the corner. And then there's this. This one's for all you Wisconsin folk. Looks like a big slice of cheese, big wedge of cheese. I love it. Sorry. You know, just walking by a few unhoused people, and one of them had an air fryer, which was plugged into the light post. Somehow. Brilliant. I feel like they should have outlets everywhere. And electricity should be free. Not anymore. We're gonna have to send it back. Or if we really want it, we're gonna have to pay the tariffs. By the way, we do pay those tariffs. We don't get political here, but if your building looks bad, just paint it Kraft American cheese yellow. So the people from, on 6 Feet Under, we talk about that. I know it's an old show. I know Cecilia's watched it. They live over here somewhere. I think that that was filmed over here somewhere. I think that I should I'm not even plugged in. I think that I should do a 6 Feet Under. It was definitely a 4th of July holiday. I thought that the lead time they gave you for the shirt was kind of short. I bet you'll get it in like 2 days. 2 mail days or business days. Also, maybe they sent it to Newfoundland. I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. I hope they didn't. I am probably going to order a Gaylord hat. I sweat through hats like you can't imagine. I kind of need to wear a trucker hat now because... Did I just swear out loud or did I think it? Because the sun is just killing me. A cool little colonial brick house over there. Sometimes when I'm doing this, people look like they don't want me to film them. I'm just gonna say this. I usually don't pay attention. And then they walk in front of the camera as I try to get out of their way. Ooh, Spumoni. The mother. I would say the mother, the suffering mother. She, not, that actress reminds me of my mother in some way, but not, my mother was not a suffering mother. But the mother I find to be, especially as the seasons go on, just really complex and nuanced. I always kind of gravitate towards, I drive a Tesla. I always try to gravitate towards, I always gravitate towards like heroines anyway, or female anti-heroes. How about you, Cecilia? Don't tell me the mother. So we're just about to Western. Do you remember this Sizzler, Cecilia? It's now a fancy restaurant called Matsumoto. So we're at Western. I gotta find a shady spot. Koreatown does continue quite a few blocks down that way. Also, the golf course. And the house from American Horror Story is over there too. It's a little too far for me to walk today, but maybe in October we'll go over there. Kind of seems October-y. Yes, definitely Japanese food. But Claire was the redhead. You know, I feel like I related to Claire a little also. Being the younger person in my family, my sister was not that much older than me, but like the mother really was the character. Stoic, kind of like falling apart, but keeping it together on the outside. Only like, well, I guess my my temper's a little closer to my surface. That's not an expression that makes sense, but you know what I mean. I'm a little more hot-headed than mother. And also, like, well, that character was really tragic. I mean, anytime she tried to find happiness, it was just met with shit. We're at Manhattan Place. But like, I kind of liked Claire a lot. Claire and the mother were my favorite characters. I definitely think I related to the mother more. I also liked Nate. I did not relate to Nate. I did not relate to David. How are you? Oh, flowers in the attic. I totally remember flowers in the attic. I feel like that house is in Adams, and we saw it on a walk. Did that movie suck? I honestly don't remember. I do remember the movie, but I remember it was also like a book. I remember the paperback book everywhere. And the person who played the mother, I cannot remember who that was, but Was that the same actress that was the ghost in Ghost Story? That was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, actually, Ghost Story. It's kind of weird, right? Because whenever we watch it on the TV, we're using Joe's YouTube account. That's our main YouTube account for like watching stuff, so we don't mess up our algorithm. And so if I'm watching something on there, I am going on my phone to comment. And inevitably, they're always not in sync. Hey, mountain bike, the best way to watch it, I hear from my good friend Joey, not Joey B, from my really good friend Joe, is watch it on your PlayStation. So, Cecilia, what we're going to do right here is go back, see if we can. Should we knock on the door of your old apartment and see who's living there? So Gramercy and 7th. This is a really sweet little spot here. Did you live in the Ansel? That's awesome, Joe. Don't forget to text my shit phone when you are done so we can meet up. Every once in a while, I just start to whisper. We're looking for Cecilia's apartment. Was it this one? Oh, that's a big old house. 701 Gramercy. All right. I'm going to cross the street. This street actually really is a bit of a respite. I have to say, it's much quieter here. I will tell you, I've never ever seen this building before. I'm looking for 701. This is 701. You lived here? I don't think they're going to let me in. Wow. Oh, let's not read their evacuation notice, but that's a pretty gorgeous building, Cecilia. I just stepped in dog poop. I'm the only one to blame. You want me to, it says no trespassing, but, oh, I kind of can stick my camera in there, watch. I feel like that episode where Lucy stole oranges over the fence. Wait till you see what I just did as we back up. I'm gonna get arrested. You're gonna have to bail me out. Let's take a walk around this building. Pretty cool. Unfortunately, I wonder if that still lights up. Wow, what a cool building. I'm glad we got to see that. It almost looks like, what's this little shed over here? There used to be a time when I wouldn't think twice about trespassing, and then I got arrested. I didn't really get arrested, but I can't get in because it's locked and there are two guys filling out eviction notices or something for people, and they were looking at me. Not suspiciously, but leerily. It's probably not always great to be walking around with a camera in Los Angeles. Probably people think I'm a cop all the time, which I'm not. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I just want to bop around this neighborhood because I've never ever walked through it or driven through these blocks. Here's the bank door. Oh no, this is a totally different building. That building is a behemoth, Cecilia. Oh, thank you so much, Cecilia. I missed that. Oh, that was really sweet. Thanks so much. Lots of hearts. You know, you often make my week, so I'm happy to return the favor. You've been making my week for 4 months plus. Woo! I don't know what. I thought that was going to make flowers everywhere, but it's kind of dorky. We'll do the hearts. Thank you so much. That was super sweet. I'll order a large ice cream now. Were you in the front? Did you have the groovy throw open windows, or did you have the newer windows? It's a really weird mix, this neighborhood. You've got some super teeny little bungalowy houses, some giant apartment buildings, duplexy looking things. Or that is probably a lovely apartment. Again, floor to ceiling windows, but with a grate. So now we're back on 8th Street. I'm going to take a right and then a right and sort of meander back to Western. Not quite ready for my ice cream yet, but I think that's all right because Joe has not had his sushi. So let me take a second to thank all of my lovely, lovely members for their support. Also, again, Cecilia, you were on there with a big 3-month star. I really appreciate that. I'm glad to have made your week. Thank you for the support. I really do appreciate that. I almost want to see what that roof is over there, but I think I can't remember how tough this is to cross. It's that time of day. I'll stick with the original plan. Let's go right. Let's get back to Wilshire. Let's see if we can find Liberty Park. And where is BD? He can replay it. I'll make a short of it and put it in the members part. A clip. For members only. We don't want anybody to dox you 20 years ago. When I used to work in Culver City, I used to drive down this way. The house from American Horror Story is further down this way and not down Western. Western Avenue goes all the way to Torrance, I believe, and Carson. It is one of the older just like Beverly, like used to be like a freeway kind of road in Los Angeles. There's BD. I'll still make a short for members only. Anybody else want me to visit their old pad? I do owe somebody a visit up near here too. I can't remember who that was. They were on a while ago. I think it was the fella, I can't remember the name right now, but his grandmother used to live in a building over here. And he used to visit her. It's funny, I don't feel like miserably crappy from walking in this heat yet. Tomorrow it's going to be a little hotter, and the next day it's going to be a little hotter. So Thursday and Friday are going to be hot. One of those days we're not going to be here, meaning I think we need to explore somewhere cooler. So maybe I'll hop back on the train and go back to Long Beach. But I really feel like, if you're still there, brave bull, I really do feel like I would want to drive to the canals, and just like Huntington, I will eventually go there. I promise. You can keep reminding me though. I'm going to take a right here. Every once in a while, when I was stuck in traffic here, I would take a right here, believe it or not, and regret it instantly. So, I don't know if those people were crossing to avoid me. There's another place for rent. There's the on sale again. I wonder what the history of this brick house over here is. Oh, it's maybe look more impressive from the front. Oh, how is the weather other than power outage? Is it super muggy and... Oh yeah, the house is more impressive from the front. It looked like a house on the other side of the street. Actually, I take that back. Just a courtyard peeper. Mary Melrose Place. That's pretty cool, actually. I take it back. Pretty impressive. I love a nice shady courtyard. How long have you had no power, BD? A little streamline action. Kind of makes me want to... Oh, I'm sorry. Just a little Xanadu looking ring. That's another thing that keeps coming up on my YouTube, like a certain clip from Xanadu with Gene Kelly. It's like the finale. I watched it once. It just keeps showing. I'm not that big of a fan of Xanadu. Oof. Do you know, did they text you or tell you like how long it's going to be out for? It's just miserable when it's humid because no fan, no air conditioner. I guess I am preaching to the choir. You know, I kind of love it because the picture it painted for its time, right? Like that dude making his living painting, hand painting album covers for like display in a record store. Movies, I think that movie, just like the beginning of it, and also the movie that kind of more seems like a fun time of that era is Car Wash. It is definitely one of my favorite movies and soundtracks of all times. I keep thinking I should watch it again. We'll usually get like a text message or something that says your power will be off from blah, 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 blah. Or maybe I'm confusing it with the cable company. I'm going to take a left on St. Andrews here and head back to Wilshire. I'm just whoa. Look at that pop-y looking crazy thing. I wonder, it would be kind of cool if those, oh, don't forget, July 18th, you guys, Smurfs. Smurfs. Smurfs are coming back to this apartment building. I like it and hate it at the same time. I thought it was 666, but it's 686. Oh my gosh, there's the beautiful building that you see. Is this Desmond's? Oh my gosh. These are my sponsors. The Smurfs, right? So don't forget to see Smurfs on July 18th. Papa Smurfs becomes a DJ. He loves it when you call him Big Papa Smurf. Anyway, we're gonna cross. PA, I can't do it. You can't do it to Papa Smurf. Big Papa. I love it when you call me Papa Smurf. Missing something. The one thing I didn't like about Smurfette in the Smurf lore is that she was evil when she had brown hair, but the second she became good, she had blonde hair. So imagine being a little brown-haired girl that loved the Smurfs and you thought you were evil. I'm kidding. But kinda. Oh, the current humidity is 41. I gave it a 50. And I also said it was 87. So, St. Andrew's Place, I think maybe that's the street that guy asked us. It's really cute and Manhattan-y, or actually kind of Back Bay Boston-y. And Jokey Smurf was kind of annoying. Like, it was the same trick over and over again. You open the exploding package. It would certainly be canceled today. I love that courtyard too. It was kind of like it wasn't wild, but it was slightly overgrown in the way that I kind of love. It didn't look like perfectly manicured, but it was manicured. It just looked like a really cool spot to hang out. It smells like sulfur over here. I think I'm like the grumpy Smurf also. Yeah, Koreatown is big. We have been in it for a little while. Once we crossed Western, I think we're out of it for a little bit, but it's huge. So I think technically we started in Little Bangladesh today, but it was really on the like edge of Koreatown. That's what I think about all old buildings. And you could walk to the Wiltern. I've never seen a show at the Wiltern. I just don't like concerts a lot. That person literally would not open the door for the bus person would not literally open the door for that person. That's kind of a bummer. Huh. Wait, the sushi spot isn't next to the Wiltern. I thought it was a couple blocks above. Are you going to a different spot? So, this is Liberty Park. Whoops. I dropped something. Now, this is Liberty Park, once again. This is like one of the only green spaces, public green spaces in Koreatown. I think in 2017, this little bit of land was kind of up for grabs, and the neighborhood fought for it. I'm trying to stay hydrated. I've been drinking water, and now I'm out of water, but I'm gonna get another one, I think. So this is now a designated cultural historical monument and green spot. Oh, I'm gonna let Joe have all the sushi. because I'm not a sushi lover. I just want them to eat fast because I want an ice cream. Wilshire Park Place, Radio Korea. This is nicer than Pershing Square. I mean, of course, it's not as grand, but it's just a beautiful place to run your dog and just sit in the shade. Let me check my time here. All right, 4:50. I'm just checking the time. I thought we were supposed to meet at the ice cream place a while ago, but you hate dogs. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were a cat. I saw that. My dogs love cats. We have, well, one of my dogs loves cats. The other one I don't know, but I had a cat for a really long time, and they were the best of chums. So, this is one more thing that is on our list that we're going to go take a look at. I'm going to cross here, hopefully that car, and then I'm going to cross there. We'll go to the synagogue. We'll see. That's all right then. You got your one dog. The ice cream place is so close. When I timed this walkout, I always overestimate the amount of time it is going to take me to walk. So this walk has ended like 45 minutes. Yeah, about 45 minutes. Like we got to the end before 45 minutes earlier. Sorry, I need shade. Or fresh sushi. Oh my gosh, Cecilia, you know what we had for dinner last night? We had curry with red lentils and zucchini and peas and corn and chicken. But it was really good. Coconut milk curry. Joe said, should we take a picture for Cecilia? I was like, no, there's chicken in it. But it was so good. Really, really good. And we made a side of barley. And then we ended up mixing it all together. So let me go up to this guy. This is the Wilshire Boulevard Temple. It is from 1929. It's obviously Byzantine in style, but it has interior murals. Interior murals by a pretty famous muralist. Is that even a word? It's Hugo Ballin. Unfortunately, we're not going to go inside to look at them. I probably shouldn't stand in front of the synagogue with a camera and a piece of paper in this day and age, so I'll put my paper away. I'll see if I can get some pictures of the murals to post, though. It is a really cool church. I never knew it was synagogue, sorry. I never knew it was 1929. Oh my God. Walking in the Netherlands. Let me know when that t-shirt arrives, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. Get some sleep. I'm gonna go back up to Wilshire Cross. We'll look at the Byzantine aspects of this church, and then I'm gonna start heading back. Not back, but to the ice cream place. And then I'll stand and wait for Joe. This was where, I almost just tripped on a scooter. This was where the rabbi to the stars was. Louis B. Mayer went to synagogue here. Let's see what our plaques say. National Register of Historic Places. Historic Cultural Monument. A very well attended synagogue also. And right next door, just walked into a pole. Right next door is this, which is the Wallace Annenberg Gen Space. I don't know what that is. Audrey Irma's Pavilion. I don't know if I love this building. And then right next to it we have St. Basil's, I believe this guy is. It's Saint something. So most of the letters have been picked off of it, so I really can't remember. I feel the other phone vibrating. Or something vibrated. So I know nothing about this church. We probably can't walk up the stairs. It smells like vitamins. Let's walk up the stairs. No skateboarding allowed. It reminds me of the Triforium. Oh my god, you are so welcome. Not good. Hey, Virginia. We got a lot of Virginia in the house. Or at least one other person. I really want to see inside. I'm going to press my little face up against. There's nothing to see but a door. So in the interest of good content, I just got a text from Joe. He says I can go get ice cream without him. I really am in the backyard of the ice cream place. So what does this church look like inside? You can't go into any church the way you used to be able to, Cecilia. I mean, we used to be able to just you could walk in, you could sit down and say a prayer, have a meditative moment. This is a real modern one. Wow. It's St. Basil's. I don't know if you can see. Oh, there is somebody praying in there. I'll try not to get them, but pretty cool. Look what we got over there. Some hopes. Always good to see. You can walk in. I hate when statues don't have hands. I'm not gonna go in. I don't want to go into the sanctuary, but it looked pretty phenomenal. You can just walk in. But it's beautiful. I don't know what year it was made. Do you know what year this is? No? But it's kind of gorgeous. I mean, it's a crazy... We just saw another church across the street. It's kind of just a crazy juxtaposition to the other one. They don't have a keystone, so I have no idea how old it is. It looks like weird octagonal Legos. That Hopes looks decidedly more fun than they usually do. Where you could get into the actual sanctuary. One could just peep through the window. The only door that looked like you could open it looked like not the door you would open it to, but maybe that's the secret. So no shade on this street. Aju Realty, I mean. Pretty interesting real estate building. For one second, I was just lost because we've gone back and forth so many times. I thought I was not heading towards Wilshire. I mean, Western, but I am. I'm exactly where I need to be. One of the creepiest churches, back on churches, I went to Lourdes, and that was a creepy church. Also, St. Stephen's, is that in Vienna? I went there also. That was kind of insane because it was built so long ago. I feel terrible because I constantly do not set my watch before I walk. I can let you know after. I can put it in a comment, but usually it's almost between 5 and 7 miles, 5 and 6 miles. Some days 10. Oh. I don't think I can get to this ice cream place soon enough. I'm melting. Ice cream place should be right near that tall glass building on the left. Should be. I'm gonna stand in the shade of this pole. Not working out for me very well. All right. More shade. I'm gonna get into the shade. Oh, thanks, Cecilia. I try. It can't always be great though, because sometimes we just have to look at the dull stuff and talk about dinner. Verano. We're getting closer to ice cream. Let's see if I can remember whether it's left or right when we get to Western. I went to CCD. I told this story before. Every Wednesday after school, I was never baptized. I never took communion. By the time we got to the age to take communion, I had talked to my mother about perhaps being baptized. My sister was Catholic. I was not. My grandmother took her to get baptized behind my mother's back. Long story. But also by the time I was kind of questioning things, so I don't know that it was that important. I really did want to have a communion though. I just didn't want to be baptized. I think it's not just location, but I also think like the time you grew up in too, because like everybody went to church on Sunday when I was a kid, and that was New Hampshire. Like that's probably why I was steeped myself in so much Catholic stuff because it was everywhere. Plus, my grandmother was also Catholic, and my father, non-practicing, my father. But I would go to Sacred Heart, Sacré-Cœur, it was called. Although you would need to say it with a Quebecois accent, which I'm not going to do. I would go with my grandmother every time she would visit, and then I sang in that same choir because my friend went there. I was a church tag along. I am not getting a single light for the love of God because I wasn't baptized. So just for reference, there's the Wiltern again. At the end of the street, Liberty Park. And we are at Western, so I think the call would be to go right here, grab my cone, apologize profusely to Joe. I went to Sunday school at Unitarian Church, which is completely different. It's a completely different kind of religion. I don't know, I love those wheat paste things. It's not Banksy. Oh, I lost the chat. There we go. Happy Land! I hope it was a happy land. I always wanted to go to Catholic school. A lot of my friends went. They got out at 2 o'clock also. And I think CCD was a class in Catholic school. Like you didn't have to go after school. But it was that getting out at 2 instead of 2:30 that really... Also, they got more holidays at the Catholic school. At the Catholic school. Okay, here we go. It's right up here. I'm super hoping it's not super busy. But if it is, I don't care. We're gonna go anyway. So you guys are all familiar with this. It's Wilshire. We come here all the time. I'm gonna like hold the microphone because it plays really loud music and I'll be in there for a minute, so I don't want to have to take a whole minute of music out. It's a pain in the arse. Oh my god, there's no one in here. Let's just hope I can find my credit card. I can charge without showing you my credit card. We'll be all set. All right, I'll show you the flavors and not trip. Hey, how are you? I think I want to go with the true milk, actually. because that's what Joe got last time. Is it possible to do like a swirl? Like a 2 different kinds of ice cream or just one?
They're already swirled, like the exit, the flavors that have like true milk matcha,
Oh, gotcha.
they're already swirled. But the other one you can get half and half.
Can I get a true milk with a chocolate?
Chocolate and
Yeah.
maybe chocolate and bottom and
It doesn't matter. And a cone, please. Yeah. I just have to. Thanks. You pick the best one. I'll be all right. Perfect. That's just my speed. Thank you so much. Okay, they actually are some music, but I want to show you the cones. I got the Oreo one. They also have these really kind of awesome waffle things. I didn't realize. The mic was in my pocket. Sure, you could put the, what is that?
Oreo?
Go for it. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Do you have a napkin? Have an awesome day. I appreciate you. All right. Joe, don't get jealous. I can't trip down the stairs. So, oh my God. It's totally organic. I don't know why I didn't just get a whole, like, of the plain one. It's not vanilla, it's like milk flavored, but the Somi Somi also had this flavor, but it kind of had a tang to it. This is really smooth and mellow and perfect. What flavor is your Ben & Jerry's? And Cecilia, just thinking of you, we got these plant-based Monty's shakes and burgers. Joseph actually, if he wasn't going out to eat with his brother, we were going to try to find some vegan thing today. Or vegetarian. Oh my God, the chocolate is also so good. I have got to cross the street though. I know you're not vegan. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna finish this before we get to the Larry Parker sign up there. I want to try Monty's. I like their sign and their advertising. I feel like somebody told me it wasn't good though, but I can make up my own mind. The name of the place we went to is Bumsan. Microphone's here. I should put it in there. They could hear me eat it, right? ASMR? This would be a bridge too far for me, I think. Take it easy. You are a positive role model. We should all aspire to be positive role models. Somebody just asked me if the microphone, the ice cream cone was a microphone. I don't know if you heard that. Kind of cute. So I got chocolate. I'm down to the chocolate. That ice cream was $6.95, a veritable bargain. Okay. The toughest thing about eating ice cream and streaming is I only have one hand, so I cannot wipe off my mustache, milk mustache. Thank you so much. This is so good. I kind of am under the, speaking of being vegetarian or vegan for that matter, as we look at, oh my god, my cup started crushing. Ice cream cone, I kind of feel like we should have evolved to the point where we're not eating meat anymore. But maybe that's the next generation. I have so much ice cream on my face right now. Woo! Okay, I gotta wipe my muzzle. Just so you know, that's kind of gross, but that's what my face looked like. I'll never do that again. My hands are so incredibly sticky. I missed the sea life conversation. I just picked up the last line. Sea life is also bizarre. The ocean is so massive, we just haven't discovered everything in there, and I love how they keep discovering things. Right? And this is somewhere we've been a million times, right? I think we've eaten at the chicken place up here also. The very first time, oh my god, memories. It's almost my 1 year anniversary of this channel. We'll have to do something. It's August is when I posted my first video that 12 people watched. Okay. I don't know if it's a chain, but I kind of think it is. Remember Chicken Day? I got a chicken sandwich. Oh, shish. All right, Fredo is also downtown. This used to be the Dalai Lama ice cream shop. Maybe I should get a second ice cream. It is awfully hot out. Anybody know what this is? Looks like a remnant from World War II. So this used to be called Dalai Lama. It's such a lovely building also. But there's also a Dalai Lama downtown, and it turned into a Fredo. And this one is also Fredo. I'll have to try it. It's gelato. Maybe next Wednesday we can get a gelato at Fredo. Goodness gracious. We're about to leave Koreatown. Don't look at the gas prices, please. It looks like it lets exhaust out of the underground or something. I finished the ice cream before we got to the Larry Parker sign. I think I've had to avert my eyes on this walk a few more times than I normally do. It's hot. It's hot in the city. There was a song about it, I think, at Billy Idol, right? Not to be confused with Hot Child in the City. Susie Quattro? Is that who sang that? Right? I think it's definitely looks like it's for venting purposes. That's the inside of your mattress. Facts. Not the inside of my mattress, it's latex. I'm gonna check it out because Joe watches the Venice Beach while he's working. And I don't like it, but I'm go there so often. We tried to watch Redondo Beach this morning, but all it was showing was a lady sitting on a bench, sideways. And then another one, and the quality of the picture was so bad. Venice Beach is the clearest one, but I'll look for that one. So I'm having seconds for dinner tonight. Since we haven't really talked about dinner yet, I am eating my red lentils with curry, chicken, vegetables, stew. It's going to be even better today. Stuff like that is always better the next day. We're on Second. We have done a lot of loops today. We've walked over Second several times. Got $9.99 pizza coming up. I'm not eating a pizza. Deerfield Beach. The first fair I ever went to was the Deerfield State Fair in Deerfield, New Hampshire. I got a rabbit's paw keychain. Disgusting. I know. I also got a roach clip. I didn't know it was a roach clip. I thought it was like a feather with a piece of leather that you clipped onto something. I didn't know it was for holding a marijuana cigarette. The idea of the Florida beach to me is different than the California beach. It just feels like the water would be like a bath and you could just walk out and it doesn't get deep. I could be wrong. I could be confusing it with a beach in Gloucester, Massachusetts. But just the Atlantic Ocean just gets warm enough so that you don't go into shock stepping in it on a 90-degree day. Whereas the Pacific stays abnormally cold. This is almost a greatest hits. I feel like I used the $9.99 pizza sign so many times for a thumbnail. I don't know that we're going to be eating here anymore because they removed the outdoor seat. I was like 11 or 10. Why did they sell me a roach clip? Well, like I'd seen them other places, but just like clipped to things. I thought it was like the God's Eye. Remember God's Eyes? Or like a dream catcher. It's a feather on a piece of leather, feather leather. I think actually swimming in the Pacific is a commitment. Because once you immerse yourself and you're totally cold, it sucks to get out and ever go back in. Like I only ever like go in once. It's not like when I would go, I remember going to the beach on the East Coast. You would go in, get out, dry off, go in, get out, dry off. Here I go in, get out, dry off, and the water is even colder. I still love the beach. Beautiful Revere Beach. I don't think I've ever gone to Revere Beach. I've been to Hampton Beach in New Hampshire many times. Although I was never a Hampton Beach bunny, but I did have a roach clip. So this place, Aura, is another favorite ice cream place of ours. It's really good ice cream also. It's got to be the same concept, it just doesn't say organic. It's rude to go in and get an ice cream sample if you're not going to buy ice cream. I almost never take an ice cream sample, by the way. Marblehead and Manchester by the Sea. Singing Beach, I think it was called. That one I love, but at Cape Ann, there was a beach. It had to have been Gloucester. And basically, like, you drive through the dunes and and then it's a big, municipal sort of, maybe municipal's not the word, but a big public, rough-looking parking lot. By rough, I mean not very well paved. It's like a beachside parking lot. Smells like Mother Nature. And then you kind of walk over to the beach, and the beach is huge. And it's so shallow for so far out. So across from Singing Beach, not Singing Beach, but the beach in Cape Ann, this particular beach, there's also this like Italian Tuscan looking bunch of houses on the other side that kind of make you feel like you're in a Stuart Cantor photograph, or maybe, forget the other guy that takes photographs of places. No, Stuart Cantor, that's the guy. Look like a Stuart Cantor print. Look him up. He takes beautiful, beautiful photography. So I don't know, in Massachusetts, you could not say like in a head shop, I forgot about the head shop. You could not use like marijuana words. Like you had to call it a tobacco pipe or a water pipe, a tobacco water pipe. Cigarette rolling papers. But I think like it was also illegal in Massachusetts to sell drug paraphernalia, and that's why you had to do it. I don't know about New Hampshire. I don't remember ever a head shop, but I was too young to look for stuff like that. But New England has some weird old Puritan laws. In New Hampshire, you cannot buy liquor on Sundays. Massachusetts, you can't buy liquor on Sundays. In New Hampshire, you can only buy liquor, I'm talking about, on the highway, at the state liquor store. So they don't want you to drink and drive, but they want you to get in your car and get on the freeway to buy your liquor. Would you swim in the Everglades? Can you swim in the Everglades? You know what I'd be thinking about. Chomp. I know you're not asking me, but I just want to put it out there. I've never been to the Everglades. Alligators scare me, though. I swear, recently there was a story about a couple boating in Florida, don't know where, and the alligator like leaped over and knocked the boat over and took the woman away. Hey, do you guys remember? You know where we are. Oh. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to show this dude, but it was just a nice picture of the Venice canals. Well, and they can run just in a zigzag. I love Don't love them, but you know, every once in a while there'll be like a video on, or a collection of videos on YouTube. I'm hot. On YouTube, like the scariest things you've ever seen, and it's always like an alligator in someone's bathroom or living room, or an alligator in their yard. I don't know what I would do. They're just prehistoric, scary, and ferocious. My shoe is untied again. So we're getting close to Santa Monica. I think we're about 4 blocks away. I'm probably gonna wrap this up so I can peel my clothes off and take a shower. Now I'm getting a little sweaty. Water puppies. I visited my sister in Florida a couple years ago. She lives in Orlando. Whenever I go places, I just like to not stay at other people's houses. My sister, I love her. We live together, we grew up together. But I just don't want to stay at people's houses. I don't want to put anybody out. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to do anything special for me. I also like, it's fun to stay at a hotel. So I stayed at a hotel in Orlando, and she lives in, I can't remember what city. It sounds like margarine, Ovida or something like that. And I remember one, I'm gonna put, anybody have a dime or a receiver? Yeah, it's just nice. You can get up, you can excuse yourself. I mean, meaning like you can be like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed now. Like, I just love visiting people, but not imposing on them, but also not, it's a double-edged sword. Or, oh, I'm trying to get my foot up on this booth. It's a double-edged thing. Like, I get some time to myself. I really love some alone time. So, when I visited my sister, it thunderstormed like every night. Wherever I was staying, like next to every like street that I was walking down, there was like a ditch almost. Like, I guess for water runoff. And all I kept thinking is they were all full. It was like a canal next to the road that like literally a gator could just run out of that and snack on me. R.I.P. Taco Bell. Not all of them, just this one. So when Joe and I go together, we usually rent an Airbnb because of dogs. But if I go by myself or not with dogs, I will stay in a hotel. Although I've stayed in a hotel with dogs too. I can hear her voice. I remember her voice. People don't have those voices anymore. The number, I remember my favorite was calling to get the time, which I think you dialed popcorn, and it would be like, at blah 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 and blah 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 blah, the 9x time will be, in her like sort of clipped northern, eastern, Atlantic, mid-Atlantic sort of accent. The 9x time will be. That's kind of how I feel. Like when we go visit Joe's family, sometimes we've stayed with his sister, we've stayed with his grandmother. Like, you know, at some point those people just want to walk around in their pajamas. Don't want to have to worry about us. Also, I don't like being on someone's schedule. But also, the imposing on people, I really hate. As it is, when I stay in the Airbnb, we like clean it like we were never there. We have a really good Airbnb review. You got it. I was actually thinking of walking up Franklin, well, like maybe last Friday when I totally pivoted and did something else, or maybe it was Sunday. I have like a list of walks that I want to do just so I don't run out of ideas, which I don't think is possible with 88 cities in one county. I'll be long gone before that, and I will be passing the channel on to the next generation. But I really feel like I like having that backup list, but inevitably what happens is today there's a restaurant downtown that's closing. It is the oldest restaurant in Los Angeles. It's Kohl's. I first mentioned it to you guys. I'm sure I've heard of it. I first mentioned it to you guys, I think when we were talking about, it was the tunnels, the haunted downtown LA walk where we were talking about tunnels and ghosts. One of my early history spooky walks, right? And so this has a tunnel that you can go into. Not anymore. It's in a lounge called the Velvet Lounge that they closed. But after 117 years, it's closing. Don't quote me on the 117 years, but it's been open since 1907 or 1903. And so, like, in my head yesterday even, I was going to go there today. But I really didn't want a hot roast beef sandwich today, dipped in au jus. But really kind of bummed out that that place is closing. We walked by it, mentioned it even more than on that stream. We talked about Philippe, which is the other French dip restaurant in downtown LA. They both claim to have invented the French dip. Yeah, and we are only going to have one French dip restaurant in town. If you let me know the street corner, that's all right. We'll walk by it on the way to something glamorous. So I'll be live streaming tomorrow. I haven't decided where I'm going to go yet, although I have a little inkling. Friday we'll be live streaming also. I think I might have to just go to Kohl's. Saturday, I don't think I'm live streaming, but I'm members only live streaming when we are all going to get into a time machine and take a look at 1940s Los Angeles and chat at the same time. Wait till you see Pershing Square. It's gorgeous. Like when they close, I wasn't here for the Brown Derby. I just know about it. The Brown Derby is kind of like historic restaurant lore, mostly for the shape, right? But I get worried all the time about Clifton's, because the first time I went to Clifton's, it was a wackadoodle Disneyland wackadoodle. I don't use that word, but kind of wackadoodle Disneyland kind of like restaurant with multiple floors. It was super like a cafeteria, and now it's like white nonsense with craft cocktails, and it's always closed. I say white nonsense being a white person. Like they took what made people want to go there, inexpensive food, cafeteria, quick food, and kind of tried to make it fancy, and it really doesn't look like it's working. Talking about these robots, you see this robot right here? It wants to cross the street. It has the walk signal, but it cannot do it, and it will not do it because this lady right here, or gentleman, is in the crosswalk. So the robot will actually wait for the complete cycle to cross the street. That spunky little puppy. Not like it was kind of busy when I went there. I don't know what it takes to run a restaurant. Although maybe, you know, I grew up in a restaurant, so it's possible. But, like, I don't know what it takes to run a restaurant in this modern era. But not everything needs to get fancy. You don't always need a craft cocktail. Sometimes a sarsaparilla or a horchata is good enough. I love this building. I'm so glad they refurbished it, but it's got weird stuff in it. This is our gentrification block in our neighborhood. So you've got tons and tons and tons and tons of families living here, some new condos, and then the beginning of the gentrification. The white nonsense is what's going to get it closed down for Clifton's. It was a working people's, what a beautiful car, right? Like Nate and Al's in Beverly Hills. I've been to Nate and Al's. That seems like a place I feel like that has come close to closing down a couple times. But like, also maybe for Clifton's, just going back to that, like maybe they did need to update because those older people didn't have jobs down there anymore, weren't living down there like they once were. But it's just an impressive story and restaurant, that is. So in addition, I think I mentioned this early on, or I thought to mention it, but I didn't. I did kind of think about starting in Westlake today, MacArthur Park, considering we don't usually walk through that, and it's kind of been in the news a little. Too hot. That's another really great car. My favorite car I ever had was a Saab, I think. Did you see, BD, did you see our mayor in her Tiffany blue suit screaming? I think she really needed to do that because a lot of people don't think she's balled up. I don't know what that means. I just made that up. And I really don't have any opinion to talk about here. But I was pretty mad when they were talking about it, watching her from the helicopter on the news, and they called it a teal blue suit. I was like, shit, that's Tiffany blue. They're really doing her dirty. I had a Saab Aero the last year they made it. I was told never buy a Saab, don't get a Saab. You know, when you tell me not to buy something, that's the car I get. Don't get an old Mercedes from 1971. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Don't get an old Mercedes from 1970. Oh, I'm gonna get that too. I mean, not at the same time. Don't ever buy a Saab. Yeah, I got a Saab. I didn't have a single problem with the Saab. I've been the owner of several cars that people tell you not to get, and I've had 50-50 luck. My current don't buy, I've had one issue with, but it was fixed immediately, and it wasn't really an issue. Joe, meet me at McDonald's for a soft serve cone. I didn't actually end up getting the ice cream. I'm joking. I also really want to go here one night well, I've eaten here a bunch of times, so this smash burger place is pretty great. Unless these are different guys. No, it's not the same place. What's that?
What's this for?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
right?
Are you live? And
I
do you experience anything? Like, what do you do? Like that's what I was asking.
Oh, we just walk around LA and show people that it's not as much of a shithole as the news shows it.
I like you.
Show it that we kind of get along. Show it that we're not on fire when they say we are. Or
Yeah, you can put me on screen. As you can see, I introduce. I try to talk to him, see what he was up to. We're out friendly out here. It's all
Exactly.
different environments. It's up to you. What do you want?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
LA is
That's
not a
all
black
that
hole. You make it the black hole if you want it.
What's your name?
Charlie.
Charlie
Walking
Kevin.
in LA.
Nice to
Kevin,
meet you,
nice to
man.
see
You
you.
be safe,
All right, take care. Go ahead. I let them go because that was very indecisive of me. I kind of skipped out. I get really nervous talking to people like that. Not like that, but in those instances. I'm kind of shy. Did I do a good job? How's it going? I'm really good at saying hi, though. Oh. So we are at Western, also almost to Santa Monica. I'm going to sign off now. I'm not really going to McDonald's. I've had my ice cream quota for today. Thank you so much for spending, 2 hours and 52 minutes with me, or 10, however long you were here. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm probably going to post up in the morning, let you know what the temperature is. Like just do a post before putting up a page. Anytime I say 2:30, just between 2:30 and 3, it's always a half an hour I'm relying on public transportation. Hey, Simply Sonora. So again, thank you guys for watching. If it's your first time here, please subscribe and chat. We also have memberships. I'm going to walk down this seedy little street while I play my credits. I need to shade. And I just want to thank all of my awesome members and subscribers for that matter. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have an awesome evening. BD, I hope the power stays on. Cecilia, thank you so much. I was happy. I would have been happy to just take you there. You've been a great supporter of mine from the very beginning, so always happy to make your day, I guess is what I want to say. Good night from the East Coast. Good night, or good evening from the West Coast. I'm going to wait for my members to go, and then I'm going to splat out of here. But this is the Western Avenue I was talking about earlier. Like a lot of these buildings up here are old parts of old weird studios, and stand up, Cecilia. Stand up and take a bow for being a good influence. If it makes you feel any better, my calves really hurt today. Or I think I did a lot of slow moving hills. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Have a peaceful, awesome, lovely evening. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Ah!